I don't think IGN will ever recover from the fact that Xbox went ahead and bought Activision Blizzard King. And that Xbox tax scenario, I don't know if you guys remember it. I don't think I'll easily forget it. When Destin was on the IGN panel, and one of those IGN guys said, Starfield had actually lost a bunch of its player base, right? And Destin looked and said, well, but it's a single player game. And right there, remember when that particular clip got circulated as Destin having to basically witness firsthand Xbox tax while he was still with IGN and had already been talking about how it was a conspiracy. Do y'all remember that fiasco? I remember. So looking at it now, I'm looking at IGN and their writing, and I'm thinking to myself, really, you mean to tell me that these folk have not necessarily snapped out of this and at least can try to maybe, I don't know, report, right, on something that is realistic rather than these pieces that are pretty much opinion pieces masking as reports? That's my opinion. Do with it what you want. After the week Microsoft had, you'd be forgiven for believing a rumor that Xbox had canceled its next-gen hardware plans, but the company insists it's false. So first of all, I got to tell you that our society is already cooked. We don't need game journals coming out here to try to encourage, low effort bad behavior where people can be easily gullible and at the end of the day go ahead and, believe something that is absolutely false. Okay? That's one thing. The second part of it is, now, why would IGN not just come out and say, well, at the end of the day, maybe they did it in a different article, but this one's more sensational, I guess. Maybe this one was designed to drive clicks. This one was probably designed to drive that engagement. So they wanted to just, again, this is what these companies have to do. The media for profit companies, they got to do what they got to do so that you can click on these websites, right? So Microsoft, according to Wesley and Poole, has issued a statement insisting it remains committed to Xbox consoles after a fresh rumor that it planned to exit the hardware business. Now, IGN, I would wish that you would also maybe do a catalog, right, that shows how much this particular notion has actually spread in the last 2 years about Xbox leaving the hardware business. And I have to tell you, those of you who are playing on Xbox, you have to be much more strong-willed than you can imagine, because the gaming media, the popular consent is all against Xbox and you. They're not just against the company. They're actually after you. Their behavior, their comments, their attitude towards what you do and what you say is vitriolic, nasty. And they'll say some of the most insane things about you. One of the reasons a lot of them are upset at the Video Game Fight School channel and the things that I say and how I uncover the nonsense that they do is because I simply don't care what they have to say, because many of them are empty vessels. There's a saying I learned when I was in elementary school. Some of you know I'm Nigerian, and, we like, idioms and, deep sayings. There was a trend at one time. People were listening to Nigerians saying, oh, Nigerians talk. That's what we do. So for me, I remember the words, empty vessels make the most noise. And if you actually think about it, let's say you take a big container, right, and you start whacking it from the bottom while it's empty, you're going to hear a very, loud, protruding sound. If you fill it up with water or anything, it's more muffled. So when you see these folk jumping all over the internet and being loud, it's simply because there is no substance to what it is that they're bringing. In fact, in my repost asking Detective Seeds, right, what he was actually analyzing the cost of when he said, oh, I'm just posting Game Pass costs $3.59. PS Plus only costs this. And then he never said what you're paying for on both sides, right? And so as I said that, I started to see these, empty vessels all show up, because that's where you can find them. Every time I bait post them, they don't understand that, original content's not easy to make. Look at the crap that IGN's actually posting. On the other hand, I'm posting original content, like, real life interactions with some other keyboard warriors where we kind of, try to exchange ideas. And I see if I can actually tackle their ideas and make sure that I expose it for exactly what it is. And if they can tackle my ideas, it would also be great. However, they start saying nonsense like, you're right, PlayStation is no longer on that conversation because PS Plus is already the best deal in gaming. Not Amazon Prime Gaming that gives you free games. Because, these PS Plus folk will tell you Let me go ahead and write down what it is a lot of these PS Plus folks will tell you. Okay, do you want to see it on paper? I'll show you. They'll say things like, let me show you. PS Plus gives you free games as long as you claim them. And then they'll tell you, Game Pass doesn't do so. Right? This is what they'll tell you on paper. The problem is many of them pretend like some of us have never used PS Plus before, not knowing that as a PlayStation person, I know exactly what PS Plus does. Right? Let me show you. You think I'm making that up, right? Many of you thought I was making that up. Look at this person said, remember, PS Plus gives you monthly games that you can play anytime you want as long as you redeem it within the period. Xbox doesn't offer free games with the base sub anymore. You get a picking of like 100 games, if that. Meanwhile, stuff rotates out of Game Pass all the time, LOL. Not pointing out that if you actually unsub from PlayStation Plus, those games have a lock on your account. You can't access them. You cannot access them. Not even highlighting that you have to pay for PS Plus to actually have cloud saves on PlayStation. Right? Didn't talk about Amazon Prime Gaming, where in Amazon Prime Gaming, on the other hand, and Maxwell, you said PS Plus is the best deal in gaming, right? You need to be careful when you say stuff like that, because this shows that there's a lot of inexperience here with what gaming actually looks like. With Prime Gaming, you get these games, not the ones that are on Luna, the ones that are off of Luna, right, that they give you. Let me see if I can find them. Right about here. Prime Gaming. Free games. These free games, they come on different platforms. Good Old Games. They come on platforms such as, in some cases, Epic Games. They come on platforms, in some cases, Windows. There was a time that they gave Doom. Was it Doom? Yeah, I think it was Doom 2016 or something like that. They gave the Windows version and the Xbox version. Right? And these are yours to keep. Whether you subscribe, whether your Amazon Prime subscription is active or not, they're yours to keep. Again, when y'all say this, it's absolutely absurd. Because in reality, PlayStation Plus's own game giveaway cannot touch Amazon Prime from a subscription perspective. I'm not even talking about Epic Games. I'm talking about where you actually pay money for a subscription that has some extra value to it. And the games that Amazon Prime has given and the games that you'll see on this service are actually quite interesting in terms of, man, these games, sometimes they actually do cook. And those games are the ones that are not in the Luna ecosystem where you actually need to go in and use that particular platform. I'm just talking about the ones that they give away on other platforms. So again, this is why I said that a lot of these folk are just not aware of what is out there in the gaming space. They only are very adept at posting emojis. That's all they do. They just post emojis. It's like an emoji is an argument. Like an emoji, is a coherent thought, of which none of them could even answer the question and even make sense of the question or even research the question enough to go ahead and say, this is the case. Oliver Darko, I've been asking you questions on many, many videos. You haven't answered. On Twitter, I've been asking you questions. You didn't say a single word. You said, keep telling this to yourself while Game Pass cancellation page goes down because of traffic. My guy, you and all your PlayStation cohorts did not cancel your Xbox Game Pass subscriptions. So those people that were running helter-skelter to go cancel, it was just for your own entertainment. However, I believe, and I might be wrong, but if not you, let me call anybody else you're associated with. I can throw a dart at any name. Nib95, get in here. You're the person. He'll just go at night. He'll hit that Xbox button, and he'll enjoy Game Pass while fomenting fear and distrust to the weak-minded Xbox gamers out there. Yes, some of you are weak-minded. I'm going to start calling you out. I need to. I've been using positive reinforcement. It's time for me to go the other route. Weak-minded Xbox gamers who are always prone to worry, ASMR, concerned ASMR. Oh, I'm so concerned about Xbox. That's what they do. That's what they do to you. And then you start saying, I'm concerned too. Am I going to have a place to play my games? My guy, my sister, do you have money in your wallet? You can be guaranteed that Xbox is going to want some of that money. And you can be guaranteed that you will dictate the terms to Xbox. So those of you that are in the Xbox ecosystem, you need not worry. Don't go enter sheep-like mode that the so-called hyper PlayStation fanboy lives and dwells in. They want you to continue to be a conformist like them. They are jealous of what you have, that Xbox had to have been begging for your money all these years and was giving you everything. And it's still giving you everything, which is insane. Value is out the door. It's out the wazoo. You can unsubscribe for Game Pass, and you can sub and dump. You can stack and whack. You can go to gas stations and get the old price. You can buy it's all over the place. They're not hiding those Game Pass cards. You know what? Knock on wood. I say they start hiding it now. Right? Or you can just buy the games. They're just there. You can buy 2 versions of the majority of the games. The Play Anywhere versions play on PC and console. The PlayStation Gamer doesn't have that. The PlayStation Gamer is living in an ecosystem that's designed for misery and sucking your wallet dry. That's why I said they're emoji and meme warriors. Copium. This one posts, walks away. What does that have to do with anybody? Your wallet is dry living on the PlayStation ecosystem. The Xbox Gamer is eating good. That's the difference. So when they post all of these so-called little, pedantic, childish little nonsense, you can rest assured that that's exactly where it's coming from. That's it. So when they come in here, and they start to blah, 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 I just laugh and say, let's go to the public square. Let's go talk it out there and see if your ideas can actually be commendable in that public square. That's about it. If it's not the emojis or the stupid memes or crap like copium or clown emoji, there's nothing of substance that these guys are going to deliver. Empty vessels make the most noise.